Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Lab.com. Welcome to today's recap. It's the hump day recap. It's Wednesday, and it's been a pretty quiet week, but there's actually been some things going on, things to do. Yesterday, the big craziness was the Apple 13 to 15 billion tax bill from the EU into Ireland, whatever, and that definitely sent some ripples and a little bit of volatility, but decent volatility. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Wasn't horrible volatility, but decent. Today it looked like we're going to get a close on the lows where things were breaking down ahead of the jobs report on Friday, and then lo and behold, the little buy program comes in for the end of the day, and boom, another day where we pretty much closed in the middle of the range, in the middle of the big range, but certain stocks did well, and we were, I think, in the spots you had to be. So real quickly, let's go to the SPX. You will see, here is, remember this, the double bottom back in January and February, then the post-Brexit low with the V bottom, and then the holding higher. And this is where I think most traders made their money. Right here you had, this breakdown, quick move back up, your red dog reversal around this 2080, and then the breakout above this little descending trend line here to take out, the 2-year highs. And then you had a march up, and then since then, we've been just in this, choppy consolidation, and it's a summer, so it is what it is, I guess. If you look at, where we were, back in February at 1820 to almost 2200, that's still 300 handles. So, I guess you got to take it as it comes. And then if you look a little closer, to today, here you go. Below the 21-day, looked like we were going to have like a close on the lows, which probably would have had me almost flat, or at least with a big hedge. Instead, we're still in this range, and there are some things that look good, some things that don't, and things hanging around, and some action to go with. And with tomorrow being the first day of the month, maybe some new flows come in. So, what helped? Or let's go over some of the positions I had in my disclosures, because I only came in with BABA, today, as far as an equity. And BABA acted really well, okay? We added to our position yesterday, okay? First of all, here is your doji red dog reversal when finally you had this bit of a digestive phase after the breakout after earnings. Takes some time, and now it's curled back up above the 8-day. This was your add. This is when a lot of us added. Last night I took it home long. I actually added today here, and closed relatively strong. I do have less on tonight than I had last night, and that I had when it broke above 95.50. But I'm still long the equity, and I'm also long the options. I tweeted that I bought the October 97.5s just in case it was noisy like this, but I did think it was going to get over 100, so I bought the 97.5s on this day, for mid-October. So looking pretty good. I think they're almost a double, but I'm trying to just make it as if I don't have them, because once it clears this spot, it does seem as if looking at the longer term chart, we could get some kind of move in the fall, at least to this 105. This 105 would be my next target. Obviously, it's got to clear a few things, but overall, really nice pattern. We talked about the accumulation here. We had a nice trade back here. You could look back on Twitter and look at the archives. That was one chart, and then we did trade nice options into earnings, and now we're trying to stay with it thereafter, and we'll see what happens there. Okay, let's go into high beta tech. Apple definitely the big tax bill shook some things up and had me a little cautious. So if I didn't have a little bit of a worry behind me about it, I probably would be long Facebook overnight. Why would I be long Facebook overnight? Because it's acting very well. It doesn't seem to care as if they have a $3 billion tax bill that they're in investigation with the IRS, but who cares? Anyway, this was, I was long a lot, sold into some strength, and then I got out of it yesterday, but it does seem as if this could break above this and get back to highs. Elsewhere in high beta tech land, Amazon still looks like best in breed. You look at why is this best in breed, we'll look at the short-term setup. Okay, here was your red dog reversal right there, then it held higher. Here was your breaking of the descending channel, and then what did it do today? Held in there again after a little bit of a pullback, so this does seem as if you're in high beta tech stuff, this looks good, and still looks good. Okay, and we'll see at some point it could take this out when the market's ready for it. Google hung out by a thread, still, building this, this upper flag, and there is some concern that they can get under some scrutiny too by the EU, but nothing happening yet, so it is what it is. Here's the descending channel, and I guess a move over 801 could wake it up, and it could get some better trading, because right now it's been pretty choppy. And today it felt very vulnerable, but it held in there. So we'll see. We'll see if new money comes in and has to buy it tomorrow. Apple, is back and forth. Didn't really give you much opportunity. I traded it a few times, and I'm still in my options. Most of them are call spreads. Actually, it is a call spread. It did come into here, and then maybe tomorrow, if it were to get above this, it could get a little bit, a little bit more traction. All in all, if you didn't know that they had that, also that the whatever it's called, the $13 billion tax bill, and you just saw it like this, you wouldn't think that there's anything so crazy here, right? Here it broke the downtrend, from where it came from. Okay, this is when I got really excited. I started buying the stock. I said, I think we see 108 to 112. Why did I say that? Because I figured it would at least get to here. Well, got to 110.50, and I did tweet saying, look at the topping tail on good news, Berkshire news. Maybe that means it's a little overbought. And from there, it's come in, and it's retraced, and it's above the 200-day, and doesn't look like anything so severe. The best thing for it to get going again would be to reclaim the 8 and 21-day and have it turn back up. Hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. All right, what else? What else happened today? So the banks had a little strength and sold down a little bit. That's why I say I sell on day 3. It did hang in there. Some guys were able to trade and bought the dip. Basically, this was your calculated buy, came in, held. If you look at this, just to show you the intraday action, because it was a little harsher than that. Okay, it opened up. Came in. Some guys was thinking red dog reversal. This is why people, I haven't been shorting things after this. Here was your move up, bit of a wide range bar back below the prior high. That was some people's sell signal, came all the way in, and then closed relatively fine. Okay, but if you were, if you didn't sell it, you might have been a little worried once it started coming all the way down to 66.80, which it really did. So you still want to sell strength, and prices do matter to hold things. And all in all, if you're buying the 8-day moving average in these banks, it's keeping you in the game, because this held it right there. Even Bank of America shook the tree a little bit, but what did it do? Held the 8-day moving average. So if you sold some strength yesterday, you were able to buy support, okay? And that's where it came to. So I think people are having more success buying the 8-day or the 21-day than adding on strength, because buying high and selling higher hasn't been much fun. So that's why today I did buy towards the close a little Tesla. Why did I buy a little Tesla? It's a broken name for now. Because you had a little red dog reversal. What's a red dog reversal? Stock was as high as what? 228, came all the way down to, what is this? 210, so 18 points lower from this spot down 5 days. Came in, broke below 210, put a small 208.65, closed green. I'm thinking maybe, you get a little bit of a trade back towards here. Not a blockbuster trade, but maybe something, okay? And I'm small. Engulfing day, this was the day that sellers, took control and it broke below, and now maybe gets a little bit of a bounce. Let's hope they don't announce a secondary tonight like they did to me the last time that happened. Anyway, whatever, I'm in it small. What else? A lot of people have been trying to time this GDX bounce, and it's been, not here. You had this, what's it called? You had this macro trend break right here. Okay, you had the accelerated trade before that, or trend trade before that. Here's when it broke the 8 and 21 day. So down here, it's still in no man's land. You have the 200-day down there. You have, the gap over here. That's why this morning, or actually about an hour ago, just to have some, a lot of people think that we're going to have a strong jobs report again. So if we have a strong jobs report, this could easily see this. That's why you don't want to just start playing this cost average game, because those that did it starting here are getting hurt, and those that started with this bear flag because it looked like it was holding here and didn't get out don't know what's going on, because it could happen. But if we get a soft report, maybe we get some kind of oversold bounce. So the GDX 26 calls that I told Redler All Access about, I bought it for 29 cents. So if we do get some kind of bounce, even just to here, or even to test halfway up, there'll be a double or a triple. And if for some reason it's a really weak number, then who knows? Maybe it's a big move. But even I remember, what's it called? What was it? The hawkish Janet had this kind of spike. So, but again, I don't love this broken sector. So for me, I just went with some options so I know risk is premium paid. If it's a hot number again and the Fed says they're going in September or everyone thinks it, this could be down here and my options will be a zero. I'd rather trade it that way or do it intraday. But obviously on a Friday, it's hard to do that kind of stuff with a big jobs number. So just did a little bit today. Maybe if it's down tomorrow, a little bit more tomorrow. And whatever I buy, I'm pretty much writing off as a zero unless something happens with a revision to the mean. What else happened today? Let's look at some of the new issues. TWLO or TWLO, hanging in there, getting tight. Maybe we see some kind of move soon. Looks good. Here was that red dog reversal, getting in there above this spot. Some people might go to it. ACIA, what'd you do today? Not a whole heck of a lot, just building this upper base or upper flag. This was, again, it held last Friday's support. Now I would say if it holds this and goes sideways, that would be constructive there. Today, I got to give it to Bobby. He's been telling me about this HIMX. I had it on the note a few times and saying how, the analysts love it. They think that there's going to be like triple the amount of earnings power. And I was like, hey, the chart looks pretty good. Wide range bar held. If it gets above 10, it can go. So I bought it today above 10 and it closed pretty well. And, it does seem as if, why can't it get back to here? There are the chips for VR and this and that. And it's at one point way back when, this was a bit of a high flyer, so we'll see. It's not really extended. This was the first move, and then came in, and now it's on its way. And they've reported strong earnings, and now they're on a bit of a roadshow. So we'll see if it continues, or see if analyst says something. But all in all, decent volume above 10. That's why it's on. It's a new position that you'll see, and people saw on the VTF come on right around here. Twitter woke up today. I don't know if we'll get some follow through tomorrow, but. Early into the session, it woke up. One of the founders said that they're going to have to get an acquisition or something. You can look up the news. So I caught it a little early and I took it home. Closed a little bit off highs, but maybe there's some continuation tomorrow. Some thinking from here to here, this was like a 50% retracement, and the reason why I bought it is it triggered above this spot, so I got it, right around probably, 1880, and tier 1 overnight. And I still have those Twitter 20 calls for December that I bought, a while back. And that's that. Tomorrow's the first day of the month. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe some new flows come in. Maybe that's why we rallied off the lows. So people might be trying to jockey for that, and then it doesn't happen. All in all, still in this big S&P range. Everyone's leaning a little hawkish. Maybe September. Banks, have round up into it. The metals have come down into it. Oil got a little shaky. Remember I started talking about USO 1070. Well, that broke. That's why we had a bit of a sell-off also. Broke this spot. This was your 1070. Here was your, engulfing day. So some people actually probably got short here. And if you got short, you made money. And now we'll see, what happens here next. Maybe we get a red dog reversal around this pivot tomorrow. What would that do? That would keep this trend off the lows intact. If not, you could get a little bit more, downside volatility in oil. And then let's look at the XLE. XLE, now it's a whole lot of nothing again. Broke that 69 level, stopped some people out, but still just in this choppy channel. Here's the low end, tried to get through the high end, and then could never regroup. Now it's just back in no man's land. Nobody likes to be in no man's land, especially me, and especially when it's the last week ahead of Labor Day. You don't want to be in things that don't have a compelling reason really to be in it, or at least a reason, and that's telling me no reason yet. Even oil closing the lows, who knows? Gold, I'm guessing that's why I went with options. Everything else that I have some names on, I have a reason for. HIMX above 11. BABA's been strong, I have less. Twitter, day one, maybe. What else? I don't have that much else going on. Some guys, I bought a little bit to be social with the VTF. The VTF bought a little BMY today. Do I buy BMY stock? No, because who knows what's going to happen. Look how broken it is. So I bought, I went a week out for next Friday, and I bought the 58s thinking, maybe it's oversold enough to get some kind of move back to 60. If it goes back to 60-ish, or even here, the options make you some money versus sitting into some kind of adverse news event, because that would be horrible. That's why I really never take bios, because I can't stomach something like that. Even though sometimes you get a great move and things happen to the upside, I'd rather be in calls or not. And the IBBs right now still, are kind of more bearish than bullish. Okay, when Hillary came out and slammed Bristol Myers, that gave you this engulfing day right here when it, was higher and then took out the prior day's low. Then you had some downside follow through, and now it is holding this moving average for now, but it just definitely looks a little bit more of a H cell setup versus something that you want to be buying long here. So a little bit vulnerable there. And that is that. I'll see you tomorrow morning at the morning call. Have a great night.